Yeah, that's right. You know, we're going into the fall here. Fall kicking off on Sunday. So over the coming weeks, of course, we're going to be touching on a lot of those fall topics and getting into the pumpkin. You know, you hear pumpkin spice season, but this is love this time of year, especially when you have that low humidity. You have those nice crisp mornings.
I know, but it doesn't seem like we've been that comfortable. I mean, it was nice earlier this week, but now it's like, I don't know, a little hot.
You know, you can really gauge it by the nighttime. You know, when you step outside.
You feel it in the mornings and in the evenings.
In the
evenings.
Agree. Yeah, I went out one night to roll the garbage cart out, and I said, man, it just feels nice. You can tell that fall is right around the corner.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, yeah, it will, I promise, it will change. We will have some cooler weather, but if you're a fan of summertime, the summer heat is going to hold on. That's one of the next big things we're going to talk about. We want to spend some time here talking about our forecast, going into some specifics. And first off, we'll check out some live views across the state, and you can see another nice evening here on the way. Just some beautiful colors out there. Feel those clouds in the sky really setting off those orange colors. And I was noticing here, I need to check this camera view from Nectar, and it is showing the 19th. Okay, so we are seeing some clouds there showing up in that Nectar camera. I believe that might be an old view that's showing up there. 86 from the McWane Science Center, and we have winds out of the north at 7 miles per hour. Don't forget, if you want to sign up to be a First Alert weather watcher, if you go to our website, WBRC.com, you can sign up. We have a form there. We have weather watchers that check in with us daily. I mean, some of these weather watchers have been reporting every morning, every evening since 2010. It's just incredible. I mean, the amount of service, and we're so thankful for our First Alert weather watchers and what they do here. 83 degrees right now in Trussville. These are current conditions, and at last report, Sarah Porter checked in with 86 degrees for a temperature there at Oatman. That's in Walker County. But what you're seeing here, a lot of ground clutter coming back. That radar beam, it bounces off a lot of surface features. So what it does is sends back that ground clutter return. And that's why you often see that little gray pattern or green pattern that shows up on a sunny day. However, no rain showing up right now. But the main thing I wanted to show you is the temperatures here across the state. As you can see, we have a lot of 80s. Utah around 88, Greensboro around 88 degrees. But this is the forecast data utilizing what we call the HRRR model. Also bring in some of the forecast temperatures from that model as well, and you can see the forecast guidance paints a lot of 70s on the map by 9 o'clock. It's still dry. It didn't take long to dry out. Even though we had all that rain over the weekend, we're still dealing with drought conditions across parts of the state. But with that in mind, you can see, and also, you know, these days are getting shorter. Early morning temperatures will still drop off into the 60s there early tomorrow morning, and then you can see for the afternoon by lunchtime we're back in the upper 80s. So if you plan maybe wrap up the week, have a lunch meeting tomorrow, just know if you say, I think I'll set outdoors, the temperatures by lunchtime will be close to 90 degrees, and then by 4 o'clock you can see some 90s showing up on the map. So the afternoon 90-degree temperatures, I was hoping I could say goodbye to the 90s for this year, but not so fast, right? Looks like those afternoon highs will be close to 90 for not just Friday, but also for our weekend. And in the tropics, we are monitoring a couple of waves over the central Atlantic. Tania is going to share some model data here coming up in a few moments, showing some of those comparisons. We've got different guidance that's been showing what could happen here in the tropics, and low chance of development over the central Atlantic. Of course, what I'm seeing right there, I'm not concerned about. What does catch my attention, though, is a disturbance over the Caribbean, and the forecast data is telling us that something could organize. This is the outlook from the Hurricane Center, says 40%. Wouldn't surprise me over the next few days if this jumps up to 60, 70, 80%. Models in good agreement on a system organizing here over the Gulf of Mexico or the Caribbean, and this would happen over the next 7 days. And what we're seeing is a possibility of a tropical storm forming. You can see this is the GFS, and again, we'll take a look at some of the, we've got the model comparisons, the Euro to the GFS, but you can see there 5 o'clock for Friday, showing, this is Friday and next week, by the way. This is not tomorrow, this is next week, but it's showing a system over the southern Gulf of Mexico, and at this same time there's going to be a front dropping south, and Tania and I were talking about this. If that front, if it's weaker and it stalls well north, there's a chance that this could sneak into the northwest Gulf of Mexico, so that's a possibility. If that stronger cold front moves in and makes it into the Gulf as this moves north, and there's some interaction there, and if this is a stronger system, it could turn back towards the northeast. So all scenarios are on the table here with this over the next several days. So that's what we're going to be watching as we move ahead. We're going to be watching the Caribbean. You can see possible track northeast. Next name on the list, Helene. And if you're heading to the football forecast Saturday, if you're going to the JSU game, the Auburn game, make sure you pack a few extra bottles of water. Don't forget the sunscreen because it is going to be a hot one out there during the afternoon for Saturday and Sunday. And then it looks like next week, maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday, we could see a couple of isolated showers back into the forecast as we go to meteorologist Tania Michelle. Tania, taking a look at some of the models there, the European, American model. We even looked at the Canadian model today. All three suggesting that the Caribbean, Southern Gulf of Mexico, something's there in the long range. We got to watch late next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And this could, depending on the timing of this system, we could see the rain a little earlier, but as of right now, things look like it's stalling, Wes. So we could see some wet weather around as we approach next weekend and really the end of your next work week. And as you notice here, we have a slight chance of rain Wednesday and Thursday, of course, this week, or no, into next week. This is not 14 days out. This is 7 days out. 7 days out from now, we could see some increase in cloud coverage, anywhere to partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies for next Thursday. Temperature is still going to be hanging on in the 80s for majority of us, but notice we start to see those cooler conditions as we look closer to 14 days out. What we need to watch is in between around 8, 9 and 10 days out, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the following week. And we can see those temperatures still in the 80s, but we're watching a little more cloud coverage and some wet weather. And again, that all really just depends on what the tropics does and what it brings us and what exact track that this potential tropical depression or storm that's currently developing and trying to develop in the Caribbean could do as we approach later in the next week. So of course, beyond the 7-day, things can and possibly will change. Just giving you a little idea of what we're looking at. We do have some more dry days in the forecast ahead, and as of right now, rainfall totals really aren't mounting up to much of anything. So if you're looking for some wet weather to help eliminate this drought across central Alabama, I'm not really sold on us seeing free drought or no more drought across central Alabama just yet. We're still seeing not enough rain in the days ahead, so just giving you that first alert. But again, watching the tropics, watching the Caribbean, we could see some increasing rain chances by the end of next week and into next weekend. So enjoy this weekend. Next weekend might be a different story. So this weekend we'll see lots of sunshine, those highs in the 80s and 90s. So such beautiful conditions for you to enjoy the outdoors. I want to bring my friend over, Wes, so we can end out this show.
Yeah, I was
here.
trying to, I wanted to bring in some of that map you had up earlier. We'll show that to you tonight. We've got the game on, and we'll have that update and talk a little bit more about the long range after baseball tonight. So be sure to join us live on WBRC.
Yeah, we'll see you guys then, and have a wonderful evening. And be sure to use our First Alert Weather app. Send in any of your photos of the sunsets. We'd love to share them tonight. Yeah, because I had,